And 3, 2, 1, action. Hello everybody, and welcome to VR Citizen Auto Touch Setup Tutorial. This will go over how to download and set up and run all the different parts of this mod to get VR HOSAS flight with 6 degree of freedom translation from VR touch controllers for Oculus. Please note that this is Oculus touch controllers only for now. We are working hard to transcode the work over to OpenX VR. Speaking of, open call to anyone who knows anything about OpenXR, drop by the Discord to help us out. This is all working on top of the VR Star Citizen setup tutorial videos that I have made that use VorpX as a foundation to get VR working with the game. Check out my YouTube channel for any and all tutorials and setup videos for reference use. Also, all of the hard work goes to Defox and Spectre for providing the code needed to make any of this possible. All I was able to do was test and help iterate on different hardware to make sure it was running smoothly, so big props to all of them. Please note that this software is being iterated upon and changed, so drop by the Discord to keep up with the latest developments and changes as we roll them out. All information in this video is based upon version 7 of the code on the 19th of July in 22 as of the recording date. With that said, thank you all for the voodoo that you do down below. I recently passed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I literally couldn't have done it without the help of all you guys. So all of the encouragement and support has definitely helped me along every step of the way, so keep it coming, man. Y'all are great. I'll be pushing as hard as you guys do for more content, as I have plenty of plans and ideas. So thank you so much. So now, onto the tutorial portion of this video. Alright, so first we need to get the files. First step is to download the AutoTouch version 7 folder from the Google Drive link provided below. Speaking of links provided below, always check the description of my videos for any all-important stuff such as the Discord, the verse where all of this is possible. It's basically a hub for all the troubleshooting and archive of all the VR Star Citizen testing the community has ever done. If you need help getting anything to run, drop by there and ask. It is the biggest resource to keep this dream not a meme. Anyways, once you have downloaded the folder, extract it to your desktop or somewhere that you will easily find it. Remember it, solid state recommended. The folder we are looking for will be Oculus SC, which will have the readme.txt in it that goes over the mod installation steps at the top. We will now follow them. So basically, once you have the link right here, just right click and then click download. Same for the readme. Get those near the same place and then extract them. Okay, so as you can see, I have it extracted here onto a folder on my desktop or my downloads or whatever. Either way, basically extract it to its own folder. Click on that and then just drag that to the desktop. I already have it on there, so replace it. And then this is the README folder. Go ahead and throw that in there as well. And then boom, this is going to be the folder that we are working with out of. So let's continue on to the README. We will now follow the steps that are listed at the top of them. So open up the README, and you can have this, or follow along with my guide. I am going to have this script as a saved text file on my Discord, so check it out there if you want to use it as a reference instead. Now then, so step 1, install the AutoHotkey version included and vJoy as provided. Refresh the folder. Here we go. So basically, even if you have AutoHotkey already installed, be sure to install this 1.1.33.10 version of it, or an update to it, or just make sure that you run this one, because there's been tiny weird little issues that crop up if you don't. After that, install vJoy Setup if you already haven't done so. If need be, restart your computer after installing Virtual Joystick and unplug your other controllers. This is going to be a lot easier if all you have is a mouse, keyboard, and vJoy detected as controller devices by Windows. Okay, so after you install AutoHotkeys and vJoy and restart your computer and unplug all your controllers, the next thing you're going to want to do is basically have this Oculus SC folder somewhere easy that you can remember it. I just have it on my desktop because I don't care about too much clutter, and it's easy for me to get to it there. However, you might want to have it somewhere else. Either way, make sure it is on a solid state drive. I can't verify how well it's going to run on a regular drive, so just try to have it on a solid state if you can. With that said, we're going to place a shortcut of the Oculus SC vJoy 7 all-access AHK script on your desktop. So what that means is this guy right here, this auto hotkey script with SC vJoy 7 all-access, we're going to right-click, and we're just going to, boom, create shortcut. And we're dragging that right next to the folder itself so that I know that it is the hotkey script that I want to use. So I always have this as like a pair that kind of either down there or somewhere, you know, by themselves, but next to each other. So, after you got that on the desktop, you're going to want to open the vJoy Configurator tool. So just type vJoy and boom, configure vJoy. What we're looking to do here is, give it a sec, set the number of buttons up here in the top middle to 60, and then uncheck all of these force feedback checkboxes, and then uncheck enable effects for force feedback. Click enable vJoy and then hit apply. This might make you restart your computer again. It just depends on how things go. If so, take this time to do it and restart it and then come back to the tutorial. Giving me those extra views. Hey-o. Okay, so step 5. We now need to get the game of Star Citizen to recognize all of our controller inputs. So we need to use the custom profile that is in the folder right here, this .xml file. We're going to copy that and we're going to throw it into your Star Citizen install drive. So for me, that's going to be local disk. We go to program files. We go to Robert Space Industries. We're going to go to Star Citizen. We're going to go to the live folder, live or PTU, whichever one you're using. I can't make that more clear. So user, and then you're going to go to client 0. We're going to go to controls, mappings, and then Booyakasha. We're going to just paste there. Okay. This can now be accessed via the Star Citizen menus in game, and then you basically select it and it pulls up all of those saved profile buttons. So that makes your life a lot easier in the long run. Be sure to do this, otherwise none of it's going to work. Okay, step 6 and 7. We're going to launch VorpX as admin, right-click on the tray icon and pause watcher, and then we're going to start the desktop VorpX desktop viewer. So let's do that real quickly. Oh my gosh, of course it's got to download every time I film a tutorial. Oh, please don't change. Oh, Lord. All right, hang on. Okay, so go ahead and run VorpX as administrator. And then pause the watcher and then start the desktop viewer. Once you are in VorpX, hit the middle mouse button and then hit the delete button on your keyboard. This will bring up the VorpX settings, all right? You're going to want to go to input settings, gamepad controller, VorpX gamepad buttons, off. Let's see here, Oculus touch settings, controller mode, off, okay? And then head tracking settings, you're going to set that to off. Boom, easy. Then main settings, tracking sensitivity, he has it set to 0.0, but I use OpenTrack. I'm not actually sure if he's using the same thing that I am, but I just have it set to 1.0 and it's working for me. So anyways, make sure OK and save those. Don't just hit OK. And then that should be all the VorpX menu settings that we need to get this mod to work in tandem with it now. And now we need to launch Star Citizen and adjust some stuff in there too. So, next step, Star Citizen launch. Okay, so go ahead and launch Star Citizen. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we launch Star Citizen. Okay, hang on. Okay, so we launch Star Citizen. And we go to the menus to adjust some stuff. So we loaded that XML file into the Star Citizen controls folder in the directory. We are now going to activate that profile with Star Citizen itself so that when we launch the script, it will then pick up our control layout. Okay, now we are here, Star Citizen. So we're going to want to go to the options, key bindings. Down left, advanced customization controls. Now, control profiles. There it is. Oculus vJoy SC version 07 all access. Click on it and just easy peasy, keyboard to keyboard, mouse to mouse, joystick to vJoy device. Make sure that you have that loaded like that. Boom, load, and then now the mod is ready to work. Alright, go ahead and escape out of that, and then see a star side, Commander. The mod will now work with Star Citizen when loaded. You now have everything you need to run Star Citizen in VR and use the touch controllers for FPS, 6 degree of flight HOSAS, all in one go. We will now go over the launch startup sequence to get it started and playing. After that, I'll go over quick tips and tricks for using it. I also plan to have a more in-detail touch tips and tricks video for ease of use after this guide. This is a mostly getting it up and started and working type of video. So with that said, we go to step 9, the startup sequence for auto touch. Okay, I got my notes pinned here on the side. All right, so startup sequence for auto touch, customization and comfort. Get a comfortable armchair. I honestly don't like the armchairs because my natural flying position is elbows dug in, and I'm constantly resting the elbows and digging into the armrests. But if you play like this, you know, on laying flat on the armrests, then go for it. But personally, I kind of play at like a combat ready stance as far as how I hold the grips. So to each their own, but get comfortable, and they will help keep your armrests will help keep your hands level when flying if you're not used to just holding them, you know, in the air like that. Holding both grips plus the enter button, the left controller burger menu, the little menu button, will zero out the origins. Release them when comfortable or done scratching your nose. Throttle is the controller's position forward and back. You can rebind the throttle in Star Citizen, however, if you prefer switching it to something like your left thumbstick for throttle instead. Once loaded, enter Arena Commander to get familiar with the controls, except EVA, it's bugged in Arena Commander, works fine in PU. Air mouse is now mainly driven by right hand position with rotation slightly coupled for finite aiming. Right thumbstick for turning. So if you need to turn, use your right thumbstick and then you aim around in menus with that. So, I provided game options and mouse settings I use in Star Citizen as a baseline to get the most from the Air mouse. Those are pictures of his Star Citizen settings in the Oculus SC folder, so check those out. Also inside the README is a lot of info on how to tweak individual parameters of the script and the dead zones and axis. Be sure to read and reread and then do your math carefully when you're adjusting those, folks. Okay, now we will go over the launch sequence proper. Let's hope that I can film this at the same time. Okay, so, just like my Step 10 launch sequence. Just like my VR tutorial, we are going to launch VorpX in admin mode. Right-click on the tray icon and hit Pause Watcher, and then click Start VorpX Desktop Viewer. go ahead and launch OpenTrack and turn it on by hitting Start. So yeah, we've already had it running in desktop viewer mode this entire time, but if you haven't, go ahead and, you know, right click, pause the viewer, and then right click and then enter desktop mode. Then you're going to want to pull up your OpenTrack and hit Start. Now with Oculus, sometimes it does this weird thing where it wants to load OpenTrack in VR. I think that's because there's some weird thing happening with VorpX interfering. But hit the right hand menu button, the VR home, and then yeah, just minus out of that. Same with, you know, the VorpX desktop. All right, cool, and then it'll work. All right, so now that we got that running, all right. Now, use your mouse to launch the script on the desktop. I find running it in admin mode helps. So, we go to the script, and I right-click, and I run as administrator. After that, a window will pop up and will center 0 where your controllers are after 7 seconds and then exit. Make sure you have everything ready with your setup that you will need. Mouse, keyboard, a little table that you're playing at. If you're not doing this at your desk, you know, get comfortable and get all this done before you start the script. Because once you start it, you got 7 seconds to get zeroed out before it happens automatically. And again, if you want to recenter your controller position in case you shift or have to scratch your nose or something, the command is both grips plus left hamburger menu. So the grips and then the left little menu button right there. Please note that if you are running Steam VR on top of Oculus, due to whatever reason, I know that there's a lot of apps and streamer stuff that some people need to use that only works with Steam VR. This will hit the Steam VR Home button, and you'll have to basically point and click to go back to game or running or app that's running. This is a known issue, and we're trying to work this out, but that just happens for the rare overlap of people like me right now who are running both. We know Steam VRs will have a bit of trouble with this issue until we get the indexes control script ready, so I think we might have a separate profile that uses the left thumbstick and moves a few commands around that you can use if it's too annoying. As I write this script, we are tooling out that tiny issue, so bear with us. With all that said and done, you can now use the touch controllers to aim around your desktop, use the middle mouse button with the mouse itself, or on the controllers with the little grip, the ghost buttons, little flat touch sensor buttons. If you hold both of those, that basically enacts middle mouse button, which is our edge peak for VorpX. The edge peak, of course, lets you help see around your menus and mobi-glass and anything in between when you're actually running the game in VR. You are now ready to launch Star Citizen and use the mod to fly, walk, loot, shoot, mine, and die. All to your heart's content. Welcome to the verse. Okay, at this point, we will now go into the quick tips and tricks portion of the video. Tip 1, you're going to want to print out either the 4-way controller image, I have that posted on Discord, or the individual 4 images that are in the folder of the actual hotkey scripts themselves. This is going to help you a whole lot as a reference to have on hand while getting used to all the controls. Either having one or all of them on hand is going to be is going to be very, 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 very good for your brain. Trust me, because the layouts all work off of grip shift buttons as modifiers. So with that said, there are, between the two grips, you have the following shifts. Open grips, okay? And then left grip gives you a whole nother set of buttons and thumbstick, click-ins and triggers and stuff like that. The right button turns into a whole nother set of different buttons and click-ins and triggers and stuff. If you hold both grips down, that is a whole nother set of buttons and clicks and triggers and pulls. So that is how we're able to get 60 buttons on this tiny little layout. And as you can tell, it gets cluttered really, really quickly. So having the printout nearby was going to help you out. Having the printouts as a visual reference that you could peek at will go a long way during the first few days. Tip number 2, go to Arena Commander and get used to just flying around. Try slowly. Do a lap around the racetrack there. Make sure you have the sensitivity dialed in how you like it. Try to remember where all the important flight controls are. Tip number 3, after you've wrapped your head around flying, I would load up Vandal Swarm and then at least try to target an enemy and shoot them down. This will let you get your head wrapped around the flight combat aspect of the mod, and using your targeting computer, weapons, and countermeasures. When you are comfortable, you could either tune your FPS shooting experience with the mod or with Star Marine, or go straight into the PU. If you don't shoot too much on foot, then walking around and operating stuff should be easy enough to go right into the PU after this. Remember, if you have any issues or problems at all, or any questions or comments, please drop by the Discord and let us know in the proper chat or troubleshooting sections. Any and all issues that people have had in the past can be searched through in the archives there, and it's the biggest hub of all the people to help others to get things running with Star Citizen and VR. I can't stress enough how important the Verse Discord has been as a VR resource for Star Citizen players right now and in the past, and into the future. All of that is thanks to you guys. From there, enjoy and have fun around in the verse. I plan on making a second detailed touch tips and tricks video, but I want to wait if possible till the index version is out so I can roll it all into one video if possible. I'll post this script that I used here as a guide in the Discord for those that want a text version of the setup to follow as a guide or printout. I thank you all for your patience in this matter and all of the support in the meantime, in between time. It means a great deal to me, all the voodoo that you do down below. I plan to start streaming again a lot more in the free time that I have, but I've been dealing with this touch mod and some personal stuff recently, so I slowed down in the recent weeks. But with this mod officially coming out, and so is 3.17.2, I got a lot of stuff to work on and testing to be done. So hope to see you all there, and if not, I'll see you later in the verse. Till next time, as always, stay safe and fly right.